Let me say, Tanya, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you sharing your experience with us. So feel free to share whatever you would like to share.
Okay, so I believe in the beginning when I met you, you had we were doing the final walkthrough with my son, and I remember when I that was my initial meeting with you, and I think your daughter was with you as well. But I remember crossing over the threshold of the front door of my son when we was going. I remember I heard the Lord tell me she's going to be your realtor, and I was like, whoa. Because in my mind, I didn't plan on buying a house. I hadn't planned on it. My thought in my mind was not until I'm married, because years ago I had my first home and I almost lost it. And it was because I didn't have the knowledge of home buying. I just went with somebody tell me you should buy a home, and so I did it. And so I didn't have a clue about it. And so I actually sold the house before it went into foreclosure, like a day before it went into foreclosure. It actually sold. And so I was shocked with that. But when you and I did, after I got ordained, and I heard the Lord again speak to calling you to now say it's time to buy a house, I'm like, okay. So the whole process of, from the beginning to the end, I was like, it was a trying process for me, and uh because it was so unreal, but at the same time it was having somebody who believed in the process, who believed in who saw my vision, who believed in what I was being told, who walked with me. And I don't know, you were my first and only realtor since the first home, so I don't know what other realtors do. But I think, I believe, not even think, I believe that the Lord showed me you because He already knew He wanted this process to be a smooth process, as smooth as it was going to be for me. So I love the process because you communicated with me the whole way through. But I think what I liked about it more than anything is you was a fighter. Even when I felt like this is not going to happen, you fought for me, and and you didn't say, well, okay, well, let's just be done with it then, or I don't know what to tell you. No, you was more in the fight. And this is what I tell people. I said she was more in the fight than I was. So that was just like, wow. And I agree with my son-in-law. He said it's like he said Alicia is like taking her to taking your attorney to I think he said to a car dealership. And I was like, that is like perfect, because that makes sense. And that's how it was. It's like you have an attorney fighting for you, when you're like, I don't feel like fighting anymore. I don't feel like, let's just walk away and be done. But you didn't allow that to happen. You were like, no, what did God tell you? And then it's this God-fearing woman, this God-trusted woman. And that's what I needed. That's what I needed sometimes when in my unbelief, I needed that. I needed somebody to say, no, remember what you heard, remember what you were told, no, this is going to work out, And so, yeah, that to me, I was just like, wow, that's awesome. That right there. And so I share that with others. When I refer them to you, I let them know, like, this woman right here, she will fight. And if she can't get it done for you, she'll let you know. And I like that communication. I'm big on communication. So it was that communication piece too.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tanya. I
Mhm.
think our time together looking for your home was just an amazing time. I I have to say there were things that transpired in your transaction that are rare.
Yeah.
Um, and even down to the little things that we did, and that were obtained as a part of that process to make it work on your behalf. So I truly think God was in the midst of it. I think that it was His plan that we work together, obviously. And I mean, every single step of the way, we were allowed to see those victories as we came through that process.
Right.
So it was wonderful. Alter and give concessions on a new build? Who
Yes,
will, I mean, there were so many things that God showed himself mighty in
yes,
the
yes,
transaction. And of
yes.
course, but I often say we have to be obedient in order to see those things.
And that's what I think, if anything, your obedience to saying, I know she has to hear from the Lord. It was us partnering together, but it was even your obedience because, and again, it was that fight where I think when you said the earnest money, I remember the first time you called, it was like 5,000. I said, okay. You said, no, 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 I'm gonna call you back because I'm gonna get it down some more. And I remember that. And then you called me a second time and told me three. And then I said, okay, I think I can work. And you said, work with that. I think I can try. And you said, no, 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 no. I'm gonna get it before you leave work. Watch. I'm gonna have it back. I'm gonna have it lower than that. And I'm thinking, how much lower can she get it? And but it was like, wow. And so by the end of the day, when you called me and said, the amount, I was like, oh yeah, I can have that tomorrow. And it was the same thing with the money, the down payment. And remember, I freaked out when I heard the down payment, and you said, no, 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 come down. Those are just numbers. And it was funny because the Lord told me, you're going to see numbers. Don't freak out. They're just numbers. And
Mhm.
then for you to confirm that, because I'm just like, what the heck is going on? She said, but you was just confirming everything. Like, no, they're just numbers. They're just numbers.
Yeah, yeah,
And to go to closing with nothing.
yeah,
But
yeah. So yeah, this I in my head continue to go back to our time together in that transaction because there were things that just as you were going through, God was doing the same with me. There were things that he was saying to me. I just need you to trust me because I'm praying as I do over all my clients, Lord, whatever is best for her, let me see that. Let me move towards that. Show me what to do to get where you want her to be. Because it's not just about, okay, let's get her in the house. It's about getting you where God has for you to be.
right,
And so he, on that opposite side, was saying, okay, no, move more, move, don't give up. You're not there yet. Keep going. And so it was something. It was
yeah,
it was something.
it was, and I gave that testimony at church, and I was just
Beautiful.
like, you know, just I know God can move, and I know I heard God just in this, and I just felt like when we came over here and saw it, that's when I think it really hit home because it was when you and I was dancing in the in the closet, in the big old
Yes.
walk-in closet,
In my
and
closet
then
that can fit
yeah,
a whole full
that
size bed
right.
in there.
And I think it was at that turning point, even though we went and looked at houses, I knew, but I think that's when you really knew. To
Mhm.
me, I felt that's when you really knew because it was like the next day, that Monday or whatever, because that was like, yeah, that was like on a weekend or whatever. But I remember that following Monday, I remember the Lord told me to call you and let you know that that's the one. And you said, I already know. You had already called that person and told him. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
wow. So it was like, I think in that moment, you really knew, like
Yeah.
without me having to
Oh
tell you,
yeah.
you just knew.
Yeah.
And you had already started the process and you guys were already talking. And it was like, whoa, so yeah. So I just think it was just a blessing to have somebody that partnered, that partnered with you because, um, the Lord says when two or more are gathered in my name, you know, and that's how I felt. We both was gathered in his name.
Tanya, hold on.
Okay.
Tanya, say
Yeah,
hi,
I
brother.
gotta hug my sister.
Mark, get out the way. Hi,
Hi,
Mark.
brother. She said hi, Mark.
Tell him I ain't seen him forever.
Hey, what's up, Judge?
I can't see you, Mark. He's so crazy.
He is. Okay. Yeah, Tanya, that was such a good, it was, it was what we both needed. And it was a faith booster, I think, for both of
Yeah.
us.
For I think everybody involved, to be honest, even
Absolutely.
Cameron, the lender.
Yes.
because I remember him saying that the underwriters were like, we've never seen nothing like this.
Yeah.
And when he revealed that to me towards the end, and I said, and you probably never will. And
Yeah.
I said, you probably never will. I said, unless you have to trust and believe. But I know that the Lord made it, he did what he said he was going to do.
He
And so,
always does. He always does. And more. And
Mm.
more, you know.
I have a
So
little Rottweiler, Alicia. So a little baby, I got me a little baby Rottweiler. So he's sitting right here. So little Nico, and Tamika has his sister. So
okay.
yeah, they're like a little over 4 months now.
Okay.
So just
Little
looking at him.
baby in the house.
Mm-hmm. So
So
yeah,
good,
that
Tanya.
was a good experience. That
That's
was
the favor of God.
yeah, and I like and the other thing I wanted to say is because I didn't have to go through other realtors. You know, God showed me you, and that was that. You know, I left it at that. I had to trust and believe that. Um, but here's what's even, you know, more of a blessing. I've had some friends call about some of the realtors that they had, you know, because they've been looking, and I gave them, you will already have somebody, and it has not been working out. And I
Mm.
mean, to where they may have gotten in the house, um, but and this was a realtor that they knew, you know, like a friend or something, and
Mhm.
it's not been, and now the friendship has dissolved because
Yeah.
of the issues.
The
It's just like,
transaction.
yeah, the
Yeah.
transactions. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, and I'm just like, Lord, thank you for blessing me with Alicia. When you hear that, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, you
It's
know,
sad how many times you
it
hear
is.
that.
It is. And I'm like, why do I keep hearing that lately? I'm like, well, you know, or, you know, when they're going through, I'm like, you know, you can still, you know, leave the person, and I can give you this person, you know?
It's
Yeah.
sad when that happens. I feel truly blessed because, you know, in even having these types of conversations, my clients are family. You
Yeah.
guys become family. We, you
I
know,
know. Me, Tamika, and Tevin, it's just like, oh my gosh. Just, and
yes.
that's the other thing. Just, you know, not just me, but my kids,
Mhm.
you know, and we're all just like blessed, you know,
Yes.
just
Yes.
blessed. So,
Truly, truly. I'm so grateful. And I love y'all. You know that.
we love you too, okay? Like, here she is. Here's her number, Alicia, blah, blah, you know, so
Thank-
hey. But yeah.
Well, I know you have to get back to work and take
Oh, I'm
care.
off today. I'm off.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm off
Yeah.
because remember I thought it was going to be the closing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not.
And
So
it's
I
going to
end up
happen.
actually
Actually,
taking.
yeah, that's my next phone call. As soon as I get off the phone with you, um, I'm going to reach out to him and I'm going to put a little more fire like I did
Yeah, because I
yesterday.
don't know. Yeah, they haven't confirmed the date or anything. So
That's all right. We're going to make it
um,
happen because I'm going
yeah.
to remind them of the 15th that it needs to be done.
And what was funny too about it, Alicia? Oh, as a matter of fact, now that we're talking about that, what was kind of funny about that is as I was talking to him, I got another DocuSign, and this had a whole different amount. So it looks like it was the corrected amount because that's what he was saying. Chaffa, they sent over the wrong payoff amount, and so the underwriter had to send it back. So that was the issue.
Mhm.
So, you know, right when he and I finished talking, there was a DocuSign that came through. So I'm like, I wonder if this is the corrected one. Um, so hopefully,
Yeah.
but my thing, like I said, I just didn't want to have to pay that new monthly payment on the 15th.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to reach out about and see how that can be managed.
Yeah,
Um, and see if there's some other options because we can always figure it out. There's always where God is, there's always an answer.
yeah.
There's always a solution. So
Because if I have to pay it, I mean, I have to, but I don't want to have to pay. And then
yeah, you doing it again.
the next day is the next day, then all of a sudden, oh, everything's went through, you sign, and I just paid all this money.
Hmm.
And now you're
Yeah,
telling, you know, so that's the
unnecessarily
issue.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Alicia.
Oh, Tanya, thank you. I love you. You be blessed.
All
Stay
right. You too.
encouraged. Keep your head lifted. I'll reach back out after I speak with him. I'll send you a quick text. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love you too. You take care.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.